This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, CuttersEdgePro.com does some amazing stuff, and there are the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. You gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. CuttersEdgePro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. See, getting some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at Caneswear.com or InnerMiamiWear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help. When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
There's no need to drive around. There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome aboard. It is a Friday, coming to you live, of course, from Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, baby. Yes, sir. Locked and loaded and ready to go. Ah, yes. Sean Stanley by my side. Oh, loaded. What do we got going on there? There we go. Now we've got the chat board up. Got stuff to talk about. We talked about the Ramsey stuff last night when it broke and it sucks and all that good stuff. And but as I said last night, just to kind of piggyback, and you can listen to the segment last night. We broke it all down for you where I don't think you really need to panic. But I had a guy yesterday go to me on Twitter last night while I was happy about Vivek. I had a guy last night get all bent out of shape with me, and because he was obviously concerned with the Ramsey injury. So he goes to me. Let me see if I can find it here. Got to scroll down. We have some action on this damn thing. We have a lot of people reaching out to us. Thank the Lord on that. He says, we pretending like Ramsey going to step in and be the best corner in the league and rip after this. And so, for me, where I responded to him on that, and that's where I would respond to a lot of you out there that are look, the injury sucks. Nobody wants to see it happen. Shit happens, man. Injuries happen all over the damn league. And what are you going to do? You got to adjust. You got to find a way to overcome. And this is what I told him. And this is what I'm going to tell all of you out there to kind of, walk off the ledge. Okay. You have a healthy X. You have Kohu starting. You have Cam Smith that you drafted in the second round. Nick Needham is back. Trey Williams is back. You've got depth. You got Vic Fangio as your defensive coordinator. You got Ogba adding depth. Chubb is back healthy. He's no longer in the club. Chubb. They added Long at linebacker. Brandon is back. They can win it all without Ramsey. This is a damn good team, even without Jalen Ramsey. Adding Jalen Ramsey is just, a sick amount of talent that you're adding on top of everything that you already have. Okay? And then all the other guys with Christian Wilkins and Sealer and everybody else that's on this team, and obviously one of the best safeties on the planet you have on your team. I'm not worried about the Dolphin defense at all. The Dolphin defense will be better than it was last year, barring, of course, injuries, which could derail any season, as we saw it last year. So, don't be so negative and relax and take it easy. Everything's going to work out, man. They'll be all right. I just think it gets to a point where people love to be negative. And look, it's great. Being negative is great. It gets you your page views. It gets you views. It gets you, attention. It gets people talking and all that. It's there's something to it, and I get it why people take that kind of stance. But I'm not going to do that. I don't think there needs to be that kind of a negative stance. I'll take it when it's deserving, but I don't believe it's deserving. I think the Dolphins have one hell of a team without Jalen Ramsey. I think they can be the best team in the NFL without Jalen Ramsey. They need a little luck, obviously. Like every team that wins a championship, you're going to need to stay away from injuries. That's really what it's all about. Outside of that, I'm not really concerned about the Dolphins, to be quite honest. I'm super excited. Can't wait for Sunday. By the way, we will be on the west end, far end of the bleachers where the media is. So if you are going out on Sunday, would love to meet you. Come on by, say hi, take a picture, whatever, all that good stuff. If you are going out to camp, definitely would love to meet you. So come on out and join us. But, hang in there, man. It's not as bad as people want to make it out to be. And that's
and also McDaniel speaking this morning.
Yes.
They said that Ramsey had a meeting with all the teammates after practice. It was a team moment put together by Jalen, and then he told all his teammates not to worry, not to feel sorry for him. Whatever timeline he's given, he's going to flex, try to beat it, and be back with the team.
Yeah, he'll be fine, bro. I'm not worried about it. He didn't tear the ligament, man. He gets to come back, and he gets to come back for the most important part of the season. So whether it's November or December, who gives a shit, dude? You get him back in November, you get him back in December, you're adding a super talent at that point. So, hey, let's speed up Cam Smith now. Kader Kohou is ready to shine. That kid's a player. I have all the confidence in the world that Kader Kohou can do the job. Okay? So, I'm really not nervous about all of this. The addition of Jalen Ramsey was just like, it was just, the rich getting richer, basically. But you were already rich. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. And you've added all this, and you've added Vic Fangio, dude. Figure it out, bro. That's what they pay you $4.5 million for. You got a great defensive coordinator. See, the problem is some of you, you're young and maybe you didn't live different scenarios. it sucks getting old. Your body falls apart. You're not the same person. You can't do the things you used to do. You know, the only thing that comes with it is experience and perspective. And I've been around the Bill Lawrenceburgers of the world, and I've been around the Eric Spoelstras of the world and the Pat Rileys of the world. I've watched the Don Shulas of the world. What I'm trying to tell you is I've watched coaches that adjust when they lose players and they find ways to overcome. The Dolphins have more than enough to overcome the Jalen Ramsey injury. And they have two phenomenal coaches, one on offense and one on defense. Do your freaking job. Do your freaking job. That's all. Instead of panicking, all of you out there that are panicking and all of that, you got the people in place. You got the players to fill in. You got the coaches to get it done. I'm super excited. This is not going to stop me from feeling good about this season. So that's the way I am carrying myself on Friday. And I'm hoping for the best for Jalen, hoping he gets back. And whenever he does, it's just going to be icing on a beautiful cake already, because the Dolphins are going to be rolling and they're going to have a hell of a record by the time Ramsey gets back. It's not going to be like Ramsey comes back because he needs to save the team. I don't believe that's going to be the case. All right, there you go. Brian Walters in first here on a little roll call. Jonathan Cagle is in the house. By the way, Brian says, Big O Sean, good morning, everyone. I hope everybody is okay and having a great day. Smash the like button. Urban Posse is in. Says Chris Ike from Arizona, formerly of Miami Gardens. Well, welcome aboard, sir. Zuko is in. Julio, Drago, Null Doubt, Brooklyn Rob. He's hoping for no more injuries. Willie Shark Molina, adversity, injuries, and schedule year in and year out. Figure it out. Get it done. Overcome. Rosendo is in. Good morning. It's the final Friday of July. Let's kickstart the weekend with hearts full of gratitude, thanking God for the countless blessings we've received this month. Keep the faith. Thank you, Rosendo. Lisa Rose is in. To a time. Devin Jordan, Alexis, Mike Honcho from Houston. He says, as unlucky as Ramsey's situation is, at least we have a fantastic GM in Greer. Then, yeah, that's true. Prepared us there with the whole Fangio thing, and obviously the second-round pick. Cam, you are correct, sir. Jeff Fremont is in, and you're right. The good news is that it was meniscus and it wasn't a ligament tear, and he can come back. Chad is in. Strafasi, Chase 1. Yeah, Noah's still there, but I don't know if he makes the team. Even with this injury, I don't know if he makes the team because the Bryce Thompson kid may get in front of him. He was looking better already in mini camps, so we'll see. True Finn fan, of course. Devin Jordan, Sharon Calderon. It's Jeff, but I don't think Noah has a better chance to make the team. I don't. I'm not one of those. I think they'll be, like I said, Bryce will probably jump in front of him. That's what I think. Do you got to be a season ticket member to go to the garage sale? Oh, I have no idea. I'd be lying to you if I told you yes or no, sir. You're going to have to go on the website and find out or call or something. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know. Gus 1388. I agree, Devin. I believe Ramsey will be here before the last month of the season. I think he'll be back. The more you talk about the team, the more I get excited. You should, Christo. You should be freaking excited about this team, dude. Pat in Nashville says, Noah Iggy took the for sale sign down at his house last night. I think he should keep it up. I don't think he makes the team. His instincts are just not there. Never been there. It's the problem. Yes, sir.
All right. Mike McDaniel kind of clarified the injury. It was non-contact. It happened before the incident. Yes, Marcel was on the interview yesterday and said that they had the incident where they hit knees with Tyreek. The injury actually happened before that, which caused them to hit the knees at that time. So it was a non-contact injury.
Okay.
Just so for clarification, because I know there was some.
It's bad luck, bro. Whatever. It happens. It happens. And yeah, exactly. Sucks. And it's not like he's an injury guy. So it's just bad luck. And hopefully you'll get through it. Ray Sosa in, Jamsville in, Chase 1. Rosendo Steven Gonzalez, Edward Thurston Howe, Big O, looking forward to seeing Cater Kohu, Cam Smith, and Nick Needham step up and shut down receivers and impress us. Amen to that. Chauncey's asking, veterans can be brought in after 53 cut down, so I'm sure Greer's looking into cap casualties to get a starting vet. Maybe. Depends on how the young guys perform, dude. Yes. Surgery at 1 p.m. for Ramsey? Okay. All right, surgery, 1 p.m. for Ramsey. Jeff Premont says, had both meniscus surgeries 7 weeks ago later. I was practicing Taekwondo and pitching again, and I was a regular 40-year-old dude. Ramsey should be fine. So there you go. Jeff did it also 7 weeks later. He's practicing Taekwondo and pitching. So... And Christo is right. Better he got the injury now in the first week of camp than later. Amen to that. Ryan AP, Brian Landis, Lakeisha. Wow, Lakeisha. I haven't seen you on the chat board in a long time, Lakeisha. Tommy and Hialeah, Andy Cornell, Scottish Andy just joined in. Well, welcome aboard, Scottish Andy. Dizzy 911, Cap for Life. Bleep and calm down. Our hopes is based on our QB, not our DB. We are good. There you go. Richie Carden is in, and Cater we trust. Dan B is in. Timothy Eason. Isn't Trill Williams moving to safety? Probably Strafasi, but there might be a need for corners, so they might keep him flexible. You know what I'm saying? So you never know. Garage sale is for everyone. No season tickets needed, says Cap for Life. I'm not sure about that. Cap for Life is a good dude, but I don't know if that's true or not. So I'd still go check it out and do your homework. Razzle Dazzle Crypto is in. Speaking of crypto, like Jasmine moved this morning without Bitcoin moving. And Immutable X jumped a little bit too this morning. Kind of strange. Speaking of crypto, we ended the season with Ramsey, and we got great expectations. Let's go Finns. I agree. Drago says no was already replaced by Cater. He's just still here because he was a first-round pick. They'll give him all the time, but no, but they don't need to give him any more time. He was on the roster last year only because of the salary guarantees and the cap hit and all that. They're free of that now. So he has to make the team in order for him to be on it now. There isn't like, you're going to make the team because of your salary and it's guaranteed and all that. They're done with that now. They're completely free once they cut him. There's nothing, no ties. So I don't think he makes it, dude. I just don't expect the light to go on anymore. I really don't. And it's a shame. He's a really good kid. He's smart. He's athletic. He's got all the skill sets, the talents with it. It's just the instincts are just not there. They're not even close. And that's really bad. So she said, Lakeisha says, always here was using Coolrich. Were you going under the name Coolrich? I don't even remember that one. But didn't know. But thank you that you were always here. Appreciate it. Sometimes, you see some names come and go, and they, you just like, you kind of wonder about them at times, So Giovanni, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, appreciation chat, not a lot, but both Sean and you grab a beer each on me. Thanks for being on every day. keeping my days informed with South Florida sports. I miss being physically at since I moved. Well, Giovanni, it's our pleasure, brother. And next Friday, Sean and I fly out, or we fly out Thursday night, right? Or Thursday afternoon or something? Yeah, we fly out to Canton. So we cover Zach. We fly out Wednesday? No, I think it's Thursday. Because Friday is the first day that we start filming. We don't need to film Thursday. I could have sworn. No, please don't tell me. It is Thursday. Oh, thank God. Because our hotel starts on Thursday. So I wouldn't want that. I screwed up badly. Yeah, no, Thursday, because we don't have to start filming till Friday. But I didn't want us landing Friday, driving hectic to go cover the event in the afternoon. I wanted us to kind of wake up in the morning, do our show Friday, chill, and then go cover the event that we got to cover in Canton. Remember, we are getting together. We'll talk a lot about it next week. Maybe I do a little segment that I can record and we can post on social media, all that, so we can all get together at the Hall of Fame and get around Shula's bust and sing, of course, the Dolphin Fight song. Okay? So we got to film that and put that out there because the Dolphin Nation needs that. Okay? Big O, you are my messiah for sports entertainment. Thank you. It's very kind of you. Very kind of you. Big O, do you think there are any substance to the argument that CB's trying to keep up with both Tyreek and Waddle's speed could be causing some of these injuries? There's only one injury. Just one injury, and it's Jalen Ramsey, and that's it. And Jalen Ramsey has been covering these kind of receivers his whole career. He's an elite corner. It's just, guys, don't look too much into it, okay? It's just bad luck. It has nothing to do with covering fast guys. It has nothing to do with the turf. It has nothing to do with the Miami Dolphins having bad luck. It has nothing to do with anything. Yeah, the Indian burial thing, which you've told me many times, and 100 times over I've told you the Marlins have won championships there. So, you know, it's not anything to do with any of that stuff, you know? So we got to stop with all of that. There's just bad luck. The Detroit Lions haven't had any luck for, my Lord, forever. They've never even won a championship. You got to go back to the 50s. The Cleveland Browns, you got to go back to the 60s, I believe, or 50s. It might be early 60s or something like that. The Jim Brown era might be early 60s. No, the Lions for sure, it's the 50s. No, I can tell you that. I'm sure. The Browns, I want to say it's like early 60s, not late 50s. I want to say it's early 60s was the last time in the NFL for them. Okay? I mean, it's forever. There's lots of teams. The Jags have never won anything. You know, it's sometimes you go through bad spells. Sometimes you're just not a good team forever. And right now it's just been, you know, we 64? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. That's what I thought. It was the early 60s. Because it was Chuck Long and Grout or whatever the guy was from the Lions. Because the guy from the Lions ended up going right to the AFL after, and he ended up winning a champion. He was the only guy in the history to win an AFL championship and an NFL championship. The quarterback that came right after Chuck Long, Grout or Doubt or whatever, for the Lions. Yes.
Did you hear your boy this morning when you were riding in at all, Joe Rose?
No, I did not. Well, I was listening to music.
Okay. He was like, him and Cephalo were talking, and they both came to the realization they've never called a playoff win.
Goldie. Until this year.
No, but he was like, we're the only broadcasting team that has not called a playoff win in the sports. Like, it's like.
But Goldie was with them.
Yep. No, okay. Yeah, that's right. Goldie was on the team there.
Goldie's been, what I mean is Goldie's been calling the Panthers forever.
Yeah.
And what, you're going to blame Goldie because they weren't winning?
Yeah, it's the Joe Rose
No,
curse.
I'm not. Was he calling himself fat too? On top of all of that,
it was a Hollywood all the way. It was just egging it into text.
Well,
It was
Hollywood is.
Oh, it was great. It was great. It was good. It was good radio this morning listening to it.
I would imagine that Hollywood was piling on.
Oh, and Joe was
that's all he does.
Yeah,
That's
it was good stuff with Joe. Just because it was like you don't think about it, but it's like it's been like 21 years or something like that since
So am I going to blame am I going to blame the announcers that the Marlins haven't done anything since 2003 for 20 years?
Oh no, not the Marlins because their owners don't.
Right.
I mean, you got a reason to blame there.
Hey, the owners are buying and the Mets are selling.
Yeah, I know.
I said Joe Shad. You remember Joe Shad? Remember on one of his interviews, he goes, "Well, you have to admit the Mets are going to finish in front of the Marlins, right?" And I go, "Well, you would think." I didn't say yes. I would say you would think. If you listen to it, you go, "You would think." Because baseball's a really funny game. Baseball's hard to predict at times. It really is. You just teams come out of nowhere, and then the teams you expect to be monstrous. You know, you saw the Phillies spend and they flopped. You saw the Mets spend and they flopped. The Texas Rangers used to spend a lot of money back in the day, and they would flop all the time. So we've seen teams spend and flop. You know, so baseball is kind of odd. And here's the Marlins trading for David Robertson, which was a really good trade, by the way.
And what's weird is
He's having an awesome year.
We knew they needed pitching, but now the two trades have been both arms.
Right? Yeah, they do. And
they haven't added up the bat.
They
yet.
need well,
they
the
need
bat
to
is
get that bat, but it's probably a little bit harder to get right now. And plus, you got some teams that I thought the Angels would be sellers, and they ended up turning around and being buyers. And so,
by the way, can we just say this already? Are we ready for this? Shohei Ohtani is putting himself, listen to me now, in the spot where he is the greatest athlete of all time. Okay? You know how we talk about Muhammad Ali and we talk about Jim Brown? You know how we talk about certain athletes that we say the greatest of all time? Michael Jordan, this, that. Shohei Ohtani. That sumbitch yesterday in a doubleheader throws a complete game in game one, and in game two hits 2 home runs, league-leading home runs. That's never existed. We've never seen a player like this in any sport whatsoever. I mean, it's just ridiculous what Shohei Ohtani is doing. There's no words to describe it. There's no athlete that comes close to what this guy is doing. Like Roy Jones Jr. came close because he was playing in USBL basketball game and boxing in one day. You know what I'm saying? And Deion Sanders did it once too, where he played a football game, got on a helicopter, and played baseball. Right, yeah. Yeah, but we've never seen a two-way player like this. It just doesn't exist. And yesterday, what he did and what he's done the entire year, how he dominates on both ends. I think most of us never thought it was physically possible that some guy in a doubleheader is going to pitch a complete game and kick their ass and then come back in the second game and then power you through with a bat. And yeah, kick your ass again with a bat. Like, and that's a pitcher. This isn't Don Robinson. I just lost like 99% of you. You know, Don Robinson was a pitcher that actually could hit a little. He would actually win a Silver Slugger. Okay. All right. Find out for me how many Silver Sluggers pitcher Don Robinson won. I'm not joking. And so, but again, it's not Shohei Ohtani kind of hitting. It's just, it's kind of like a single here, a bloop single there. You know what I'm talking about? A seeing eye double that got between two. Huh? Silver Slugger, yeah. So Don Robinson, I think I remember his name, was like a decent hitter, I guess, for as a pitcher, and they would give him a silver slugger every once in a while. But what Ohtani is doing, like when we saw Earl Hershiser in 88, 89, whatever, the Dodgers. Lisa, what was the Dodgers? 88, 89? Hershiser, whatever. 3 silver sluggers? Don Robinson, 3 silver sluggers. What is it? 82, 89, and 90. Wow, that's apart. What was his batting average? That's funny. 3 silver sluggers for Don Robinson. 231, bro. 69 RBIs for a pitcher. I there's shit in this head that I don't know how I pull it out, by the way. I have no idea how it stays in there and then I'm able to just register it out. What do you got for me?
He pitched for the State College of Florida.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. That's a nugget. I did not know that Don Robinson did that.
Manatee, Sarasota.
All right. Yeah, 2 bombs after pitching a 1-hitter. Wow. Yeah, no, Duck Dog, he's the greatest athlete I've ever seen. He's the greatest athlete I've ever seen.
Oh,
baseball's the hardest thing to do. To hit a ball with a 3-inch bat, that's the hardest thing to do. And for this guy to do what he's doing on the mound and at the plate, dude, it's never happened before. It's just, it's like that kid that went viral, and I don't know if he gets to, college in the NFL, the kid that runs around and throws with his left and right. Like, eventually we're going to have that guy. Eventually it's going to happen. And Ohtani is going to now force other kids to say, oh, I can do this. You know what I mean? Because athletes are just getting better and better and better. They may not be more durable. And, that's kind of, the whole Jalen Ramsey thing. I was having a discussion with a scout yesterday, and he is of the belief, and I tend not to disagree with him, or I tend not to argue with him about this or disagree. He strongly feels that they don't play enough football. He thinks that the wear and tear that people talk about, it's going to happen to you with anything with a length of time. But if you want to maximize the window that you do have, he has the Pat Riley thing, play more. Like, Riley doesn't mind people playing basketball in the offseason. He doesn't say, oh, you got to be off. No, he wants you to play to keep yourself sharpened. He wants you to work out to keep yourself in tip-top shape. And the scout I was talking to, and he's an active scout, he's been scouting for about, I think it's like, this is his 28th year, I think he told me yesterday. And he truly feels that they don't play enough football. And that's the problem of pro athletes, that the wear and tear builds up the durability, he thinks. He thinks the more you run and cut and jump, that you become more durable and all of that. He thinks the injuries are going to happen when any kind of wrong collision or wrong step or anything like that. But he thinks that you will be more durable by playing more football. So, and I have a hard time disagreeing with that, because they don't play enough football, and yet they seem to break down more than they used to.
Well, also, I think the way the athlete is growing, they're bigger, they're stronger, and they're still doing those cuts.
And they're probably,
and that's something you can't mimic.
More torque and more.
You can't mimic.
Pressure.
Yes, you can stretch. Yes, you can do all that stuff.
That's a good point.
But you can't mimic that. When they're talking about keeping up with Tyreek and Waddle, I don't think it's necessarily keeping up with them. It's when you're a DB, you don't know
when that cut's coming.
The wide receiver knows when that cut's coming. Now, as a DB, you can't go into a gym or any training session and mimic that and covering a Tyreek Hill or a Waddle. So it's not necessarily the speed that's doing it. It's just, as you're saying, and maybe he can't really argue with it, but I don't know how you mimic that other than just because even in practices, when we go out there, they're not necessarily every play running 100%.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you're right. You can't argue that. I just don't think there's any way to sit there and mimic anything that they do.
And it's hard for me to prove that he's wrong or right. You know what I mean?
100%.
So it's like, and then it's like, okay, this dude's been around football for 50 years. What am I going to do? He's been around it even closer than I have. So if that's what he feels, and I've heard other people say that, like Riley doesn't give a shit. He doesn't worry about that. He practices your ass, and they still do that in the heat. They're still the best condition and all that kind of stuff.
The problem I think with football is everybody thinks to practice you have to have the collisions. I don't think you necessarily have to have that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You can have the one-on-ones with the DBs and the receivers and coverage and things like that. So I can see that, but I think what the worry is that everybody thinks, if they do off season, it's going to be, collision after collision. And you don't have to mimic all that. You can do that, still keep that going the way you have it now with the CTE and the concussions and the things like that. You can control that, but you have to, I believe, because you can't take 2 to 3 months off and then come back and think you're going to be able to just go out there and
right.
And I know, I get it. They ease into it. It's not like they go out there and they just jump on the field and do all this stuff. They ease into it, but still, your knees, your ligaments, they're not used to that. Planning 220 pounds planning and then pushing off real quick.
Yeah.
You can't mimic that.
By the way, that's the reason why I didn't think Ohtani would be successful.
Yeah.
Because, bro, you're going to put that wear and tear on your body. You're going to be pitching and hitting and pitching and hitting. And nobody's done that. Nobody can do that stuff.
But let me ask you something.
I mean, Fat Boy did it in 1900 because it was baseball of 1900. I'm talking about Babe Ruth. But, like, nobody else has done it. And then look at him. And by the way, he did have some injuries.
Yeah, he had some soft tissues and things like that.
Early on and all that. But then eventually
But let me ask you a question. When he was in Japan, and again, I don't even know if you know the answer to this, but you might because you have all this crazy information in your head. Was he brought up this way? Meaning, like, the whole time he's been pitcher, hitter?
That I don't know.
Because, like, in the U.S., I think it's the coach's fault. Coaches, once you get into college and they don't let pitchers hit half the time.
Well, look what they do now. Now you only play one sport.
Yeah, that's true.
When we grew up,
you played You
played baseball, then you played football, then you played basketball. For those of you that live in more northern cities, you had a hockey time too. You know what I mean? That's how us older guys grew up. We switched with the seasons. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas now it's like, oh, you're a baseball player? That's all you do.
There was no travel leagues. There was an AU, but you had to be like upper echelon to be on the travel.
That's why when you get one of these guys, like a basketball or football player, to go out and throw the first pitch, they look like some girl throwing the ball.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, girls. That I don't mean.
There's some girls that can throw the ball better than
way better than them. Way better than them. But they look like they're completely fish out of water.
Yeah.
Even like when they played softball the other day, Raekwon couldn't hit a ball.
Yeah, they look at the ball like, oh, it's coming, it's going. Oh,
and it's just a high pitch, and you're like whiffing completely. Raekwon looked like he couldn't see it because he didn't play any baseball. You know what I mean? And that's the sad part about today's kids. They don't prepare them.
Look like that guy in Rookie of the Year when he throws the E-Fish pitch and he's like salivating and everything. He's like, he missed the ball.
Dig yourself into the ground. Big O, don't forget, most of the time when he isn't pitching, he plays right field too. Just a phenomenal player. He's a great teammate and a human being, very humble. He is working his way to being the greatest athlete in American sports history. Sorry if he doesn't look white and if he doesn't have blonde hair and blue eyes and he's not your typical American. He happens to be Asian, but he right now is working on being the greatest American athlete ever in American sports. I've never seen anything like this. What that guy did, what he's been doing, and then what he just did last night, it's not normal, dude. It's not normal. Babe Ruth had a record 29 consecutive shutout innings in the World Series. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Babe Ruth was an excellent starting pitcher in his time. He won the ERA title 1 year in the American. Yep, he just did it for a couple of years. That's the thing. What did he do it like, I want to say 4 or 5 years or something like that. And then he just stayed on the offensive side. Bo Jackson was a better athlete. You could say that. You could say he was a better athlete. Problem is, not a better player. Sorry. So, Shohei beats him. Because Bo Jackson was never going to be a better player than Shohei Ohtani in baseball. Bo Jackson was Ohtani in football. He was super special in football. He was not special in baseball. Okay? But get me Bo Jackson's batting average and stats. Decent stats, but not Shohei Ohtani, bro. Not even close. It's not even close. So I will tell you Shohei Ohtani is a better pitcher than Bo Jackson was an offensive player in baseball. Shohei Ohtani is a better offensive player in baseball than Bo Jackson was an offensive player in baseball. Yeah, 250. He's a 250 hitter. Bro, please. I get it. Athlete. Athletics for Bo Jackson. But the player, Shohei Ohtani it's not even, put it this way, Shohei Ohtani is a Hall of Fame baseball player. Bo Jackson would never, ever, ever even sniff the Hall of Fame in baseball. He would have been a Hall of Famer in football. Like I told you, he was special in football. He wasn't special in baseball. So, I mean, if we're going to call it like we see it, you're just talking about the athletics of it, running up against the wall, whatever, bro. What Ohtani did yesterday, Bo Jackson never did in his career in baseball. Never even close. Okay? So let's not and put it this way. Let's not insult Shohei Ohtani by you mentioning Bo Jackson in baseball next to him. Let's put it that way. Is that a little bit more clear for you? If Ohtani was American, most would have already crowned him. Exactly. Professional hockey players in the 80s were playing fastball during summers. They were playing fastball. I don't know what that means. Still, Ohtani is the greatest two-way player of all time. Ohtani may be a better baseball player, but Bo is a better athlete, you're saying. Should we be doing this? I don't know. We're gonna cut out. We got lightning going. I don't feel like getting struck. Wrap it up. We'll be back when the storm goes over. I'll come back and hopefully we'll have Manny Navarro at 11, Alex Winley at 11:30. Yeah, we're gonna take a break. I don't feel like getting hit by lightning. Go for it.